Welcome back, students. I'll start your proportion. Okay, the exercise 8 will get continued. Yes, in my last class, see, I have finished the ratio portion. I think you have understood that. Today we are going to study the proportion. Fine. Now see, what is proportion? By definition, the proportion is what? A proportion is an equation which states that two ratios are equal. Okay. Now two ratios are equal. If two ratios become equal to each other, then they are said to be proportion. Suppose I consider four numbers like 1, 2, 5, 10. Fine. I have four numbers. Now, if the ratio of first two becomes equal to the ratio of the third and the fourth, then they will be said to be in proportion. Now see, ratio of first and second. Ratio of first and second. First and second number. Now what is the ratio of first and second? 1 and 2. That is 1 is to 2. Okay. The ratio of first number and second number is coming to be 1 is to 2. Now find ratio of third and fourth. Now if I find the ratio of third and fourth, it will be 5 is to 10. Okay, 5 is to 10. If we simplify it, the 5 is to 10 will become 1 is to 2. Now see, sorry, it's 2. Now see, the first ratio also we are having 1 is to 2, and the second ratio also we are having 1 is to 2. That means 1, 2, 5 and 10 are in proportion. Okay, this is the conception of proportion. If this ratio is not equal to this ratio, then they will be said to be not in proportion. That is, the given numbers are not in proportion. But here in this four numbers, 1, 2, 5 and 10, they are in proportion since the ratio of first two number and the ratio of third and fourth number are equal. Okay, this is a simple concept of proportion. Now see, in proportion we should be knowing some terms like here we are having four numbers. See, this number and this number, that is the first and fourth are called extremist because they are at the extreme end. They are at the extreme point, so they are known as extremists. Fine. And the middle two, these two, that is second and third. Okay, the second and third are termed as mean. Second and third are termed as mean. Fine. Now, how we can show a proportion? Suppose I am using this. I can use a variable. Suppose this time I am using some variables like A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. You see, here A and D are the extremists and B and C are the means. Okay, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then how we are going to represent this? Then A is to B is equal to C is to D. See, in your book, instead of using this, they are giving four dots. This four dots is, this signifies equal sign. So I prefer using the equal sign. Fine. Then A is to B is equal to C is to D. Because earlier we have learned that the ratio of A and B should be equal to the ratio of C and D. And when they satisfy, then they are said to be in proportion. Since we have writing that the A, B, C, D are in proportion, that means the ratio of A and B must be equal to the ratio of C and D. Fine. Okay. Yes, we can also write this as A by B equal to C by D. That is AD equal to BD. Sorry, BC. AD equal to BC. Fine. Okay. Yes. You can see your book. It is very nicely written. Yeah. Now we come to a term called continued proportion. Fine. What is a continued proportion? Okay. Suppose three terms are given. Instead of four, now we are having three terms like A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Okay. They are of same kind. Suppose A is representing someone's age, B is also representing someone's age, C is also representing someone's age. If they are of same kind and are in continued proportion then how we are going to represent A, B, C in terms of proportion? Okay. Now see, continue means they are continuing. Okay, here you see A is the first term. Continue, how we can continue? Now see, the B, the middle term has to get continued. Now A is to B is equal to B is to C. In terms of continued proportion, you have only three variables or three numbers. If you are asked to find the if you are asked to find or write this expression in continued form, then you need to write in this way. That is the this is extremis, this is extremis. Here this is the mean. Okay. Now the mean is going to get continued. Fine. Now A by B and B by C, or A is to B is equal to B is to C. Fine. Here you see, when representing this A by B equal to B by C, will get B square equal to AC. Fine. B square equal to AC, or B is equal to root over AC. Here B is known by a term that is known as mean proportion, because B is the mean term. You see, these two are extremes in these three variables. A is extremis, B is also extremis, and the mean is B. Okay. So here the four, if you represent this in proportion, then B will be termed as mean proportion. Here B is called mean proportion. Right? You'll be doing lots of questions in which you are asked to find the mean proportion, okay, of a particular given question. Fine. Yes. Now see, there is a small formula relating to proportion. I hope you understand this. How we can write a continued proportion, how we can find a mean proportion. Okay. If while doing this, you will be more clear. Now see, there is small formula regarding proportions. Here we are, suppose A, B, C and D are in proportion. This is sort of proportional thing. Are in proportion. And here we know that A and B are called extremes. And B and C are called mean. Then see, the product of extremes is equal to product of mean. Product of extremes is equal to product of mean. You can remember this. See, we have done this, but I have not used this particular formula. See, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, that is A is to B equal to C is to D. That is, A by B equal to C by D. Obviously, A and D are getting multiplied, that is it is becoming AD, and B and C are getting multiplied, and it is BC. So see, A and D are extremes, so A and D are multiplying, so we are having the product of the extremes, and B and C are also getting multiplied, and they are the product of the mean. Fine. See, by using this particular formula, we can easily and very within a short period of time we can calculate some numericals. Okay. Yes, I hope you understand this. Now, I will move on to the example parts. Fine. Okay, you see, in this particular question, you are asked, we are given four numbers 1.2, 2.7, and 0.4 and 0.9. Okay, we are asked to check whether these four numbers are in proportion or not. Fine. How we are going to do this? In 1 minute we can do this by using the formula. It is the product of extremes is equal to the product of the means. Now see, product of extremes or extreme equal to product of mean. Okay, extremes is what? 1.2 into 0.9 and 2.7 into 0.4. We multiply this. Okay, is 1.08 and it is also as 1. See, both are same. The product of extremes is exactly equal to the product of the mean. That is what. Since the product of extremes is equal to the product of mean, that is this particular number is in proportion. It is in proportion. Similarly, we will move to another question. Okay. So easily we can find this. Okay, guys, see. I need to say something regarding your exams. Okay, your exam is fine. I know some students have made silly mistakes. And one more thing, see, it is not possible. Okay, for me to do all the questions that is given in the book. Okay, suppose there are 10 sub questions. I will do only 4 or 4 or at least maximum 5 questions. I will give you the idea how to do. The main part you won't have to do. I found some students texting me, sir, I have not understood this similar questions, this question. Okay, see, you try. First you try. Okay, if you are not trying it, you try once, you try twice, you try thrice. Okay, if you are not understanding, you see the video, you open the book. Do not try to get direct answer. Okay, if you are not using your brain, you cannot get the problem. I told you that your concept and your intellection is more than the numbers you get in that one. If you have intellection, obviously you are going to get good marks. Fine. Okay. Now see, there is one another example. 1 by 3, 1 by 8, 1 by 5, and 1 by 9. Fine. We are asked to check whether these fractions are in proportion. Okay. The same pattern we are going to use. The product of this and the product of this. That is, the product of 1 by 3 and 1 by 9 should be equal to the product of 1 by 8 and 1 by 5. If both the products are equal, then obviously there is proportion. Now see, product of extremes is what? 1 by 3 into 1 by 9. Okay, and 3 is 27. 1 by 27. Okay, fine. Similarly, we should get the product of 1 by 8 and 1 by 5. That is 1 by 27. Product of means 1 by 8 into 1 by 5. Fine. It is 1 by 40. Since 1 by 27 is not equal to 1 by 40, that means they are not in proportion. Since product of extremes is not equal to, we represent not equal this like this way, not equal to product of means. Therefore, this particular number is not in proportion. Fine. Okay. Now we'll go to another example. That is, the question is saying, question number 2. Find the value of x in the proportion. There is a particular number that is in proportion. Okay. And in that particular number there is a variable, that is x. We need to find the value of x. Fine. Now question number 2. It is saying that 2 1 by 2 is to x equal sign 3 1 by 2 is to 4. Okay. They are in proportion, are in proportion. The question is saying are in proportion. If R in proportion, that is the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means, or the ratio of first two is equal to the ratio of second. This third and fourth. First and the ratio of first and second must be equal to the ratio of third and fourth. Now we are asked to find the value of x. You see, simplify this is 5 by 2 is to x. This is 7 by 2 is to fine. You can use the formula like product of extremes. I will show you both of you. You see, the product of extremes. You see, product of extremes equal to how much? 5 by 2 into 4 equal to 10. Product of means. What is the product of means? It is x and 7 by 2. Fine. It is 7x by 2. Okay. Since they are in proportion, that is this part should be equal to this part. Now 7x by 2 is equal to 10. This implies 7x equal to 20, or x equals to 20 by 7. Yes, the value is x equal to 20 by 7. This will not 26, okay? 20 by 7. This is how. Or you can choose another one. There is another way. You can go in this manner, or there is another way. I think that will be the shortest than this. I'll show you. Yes, now see, 5 by 2 by x equal to 7 by 2 by 4. Okay, this coming down, that 5 by twice x equal to 7 by 2 into 4 equal to 7 by 8. Fine. Now cross multiply this. I am reviewing this. You get confused. This is see 8 5 the cross multiply 5 into 8 equal to 7 into twice x. Fine. There is 40 by 7. 40 by 7 equal to twice x. Fine. I am writing here. X is equal to 40 by 7 into 2 is 20 by 7. Okay, see, there are two ways. The same answer is earlier also we got x equal to 20 by 7. Here also we are getting x equal to 20 by 7. Now see, it's up to you. Both the processes are correct. Fine. It's up to you which process you are going to adopt. Fine. I think this is also a nice process. Fine. Yeah. So we'll go to our next question. Yes, there is another type of question. We are asked to find the fourth proportion. Fourth proportion. See, some numbers are given like 4.8, 1.6, 5.2. Fine. 4.8, 1.6, and 5.2. Fine. There are three numbers. We are asked to find a fourth proportion. Now we don't know which one is the fourth proportion. The fourth proportion will stand here. This place is empty. Let the fourth proportion be x. Consider this, that the fourth proportion be x. Now, since now the 4.8, 1.6, 5.4 and x, okay, they are in proportion. Are in proportion. This means what? This means 4.8 is to 1.6 is equal to 5.4 is to x. That is 4.8 is to 1.6 equals 5.4 is to x. Okay. Now very easily we can find the value of x. Yes or no? 4.8 divided by 1.6 equal to 5.4 divided by x. Now if you calculate this the value of x will come to be 1.8. Yes. You calculate this. If you calculate this, you get the value of 1.8. Fine. Yes. Okay. Now we are moving with a different question. Here we are asked to find the mean proportion. Okay. I told you what is mean proportion and how we need to calculate the mean proportion and what is the formula to calculate directly the mean proportion. So we are asked to find the mean proportion. In mean proportion, given only two terms. That is, if I follow this, they are having 1 by 4 and 1 by 25. We need to find a mean proportion of 1 by 25. Fine. You can write this. Let the mean proportion be dx or 1 by 4 is to x equal to x is to 1 by 25. This is the mean. Okay. Or you can do like this. I told you the mean proportion is the square of the mean proportion is equal to this and this, the product of this and this. That is because this formula like b square equal to ac or b equal to 2ac. We got this formula. In my last class, I told you this is the formula of mean proportion. You can directly apply this, or you can put this in a systematic manner and do the calculation. Like if you do this systematic view, this 1 by 4 by x equal to x by 1 by 25. This 4 is coming down 1 by 4x. This 25 is going up 1 5 25 by x. Okay. And in this case, now see, yes, 1 by 4x is equal to 25x. Now if x come this side, this 1 by 4 stay here and 25 comes down into 25, then we will have x square, x into x square. Now if we are asked to find only x, then we need to take the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2 and 25 is 5. The value of mean proportion is 1 by 10. Okay, this is a precision method, or you can directly apply the other method. That is, we know that the square of the mean proportion is always equal to the product of the given two terms. Okay, now if you apply directly the formula mean proportion, if direct apply the formula, like if you consider this to be x or b, anything you can want. Here we are considering it to be x, means directly put x square equal to 1 by 4 into 1 by 25. I think this will be the most shortest way. Okay, instead of writing this, following this traditional method, you can do directly there. Now you calculate the value of x equal to what? 1 by 2 into 1 by 5. Now how this 1 by 4 becomes 1 by 2? See, this is x square. Okay, it is x square. That is, we are taking square of both sides. Okay, I will show you it. I am rubbing this. Okay, this is what I am rubbing. And so you do it. Okay, now see, this x square. Fine. You can represent 1 by 4 in terms of square, like 1 by 2 square. Okay. 25 is 5 square, so 1 by 5 square. Now if we take square of both sides, square, I am taking separate square. Fine. The square and square will get cancelled out, square and square will get cancelled out, this and this will get cancelled out. That is x equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 5. That is 1 by 10. The same answer we are getting this. Fine. Okay. This is the first question we are doing. When you will, not me, okay, when you will practice more questions of all these topics, then you will get more clear. The main thing is that you have to practice, you have to give lot of practice. Now, one another type is there, third proportion. How we can find a third proportion? Okay, see the continuous proportion, that is, and mean proportion, fourth proportion, and third proportion. You should be knowing what is proportion. Firstly, you should be knowing how to calculate, how to check whether a particular given set of numbers are in proportion. Secondly, you should be able to find out the mean proportion. Thirdly, you should be knowing how to find out the fourth proportion, and lastly, the third proportion. Fine. Step by step and topic by topic you practice. Like today, I practice 10 questions of mean proportion. Then you practice 10 questions of ordinary proportion. Then third proportion. Then fourth proportion. Okay. In this way, if you practice, then no one can stop you from gaining marks in proportion. Okay. The main thing is that you should be practicing. The maths is good for them who practice a lot. If you practice a lot, then you develop the love or affinity towards math. If you are studying just one day before exam, your pressure will get higher. You will be more tense. Don't do that. Always practice. I told you in this class also, the minimum you try to practice 2 hours. Okay, minimum 2 hours. You give time to maths and mathematics. Okay, if you are going to do this, you will see you will be very good in maths. Maximum students are not good in maths because of lack of practice. They do not practice. They only practice during the study leave days. Suppose I am having 2 days off for maths, I will practice only those days. Then in such way you are not going to get good marks and you are not going to have good grip on maths. Now third proportion. How we can calculate third proportion? Okay, I will find a question. Yes. Yes. 1.3.6, 1.8. Fine. 3.6 and 1.8. We are asked to find the third proportion. How we are going to find the third proportion? Fine. Now see, The third proportion we don't know. This is first, second. The third proportion should come here. Okay. Consider this to be, let third proportion be Bx. Now arrange this. 3.6 is to 1.8. Okay. In terms of proportion, we always used to have 4 terms. Here only 2 terms again. If the question is of mean, then we will directly write x, or it will directly write b square equal to 3.6 into 1.8. But this question is asking the third proportion. In case of third proportion, that is, in order to make this continued proportion, if this is the third proportion, the mid term has to get continued. That is 1.8 must be the factor in both the terms, here also and here also. This is the process how to find the third proportion. In case of mean, how we will find mean? Suppose 5 and 4 are given. We need to find the mean proportion. That is 5 is to x equal to x is to 4. This is the way of finding mean proportion. But this is the way of finding the third proportion. Don't get confused. Okay? In third proportion, the second term is going to get continued. Fine. Now calculate this. 3.6. Or you can use this also. Product of mean and product of this x from this. Or you can do this. 1.8 by x. Same thing here. 3.6x equal to 1.8 into 1.8. Fine. Now you can find the value of x. X equal to 1.8 into 1.8 divided by 3.6. Fine. If you solve this, you will get the answer. Is this visible? Fine. If you solve this, you will get the answer to be 0.9, or 9 by 10 will be the answer. This is the answer. Fine. Okay. These are different types of examples that is given in your book. Now I will move on to in my next video, not now. In my next video, I will move to the exercise 8b. Okay. In my next video, we will be finding the exercise 8b, and I will try to complete the entire exercise in a single video. Okay. See, tomorrow you are having, or after, okay, in next video you are having this exercise. So better for you to see this. After seeing the video, you do one thing: open the book and give a practice 1 time, 2 time practice by yourself. In that way, you can get clear. Okay. Okay, students, study very nicely. Okay, and take care. I'll meet you in my next video. Fine. Bye bye then.